Don't force anything. Let life flow with Stoic wisdom. Stoic bloom. Have you ever chased something so hard, love, success, certainty, only to watch it slip further away the harder you tried? What if the reason things don't work out isn't because you are not trying enough, but because you're trying too much? In this video, we'll explore the Stoic path to peace, not by doing more, but by doing less of what doesn't serve you. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is stop forcing. Part 1, the cost of control. We've been told that control is power, that if you just push harder, plan better, hold tighter, it will eventually cooperate. But the Stoics knew the opposite. The harder you force life, the more it resists. Epictetus once said, "Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control, some things are not. Yet most of our stress comes from ignoring this." Think back. Have you ever tried to force a relationship to work when the connection was clearly fading? Or pressured a career path that drained you just to meet expectations? In both cases, the more control you exert, the more tension you create, because you're rowing against the current, not flowing with the river. Stoicism teaches that peace doesn't come from winning every battle, but from choosing which battles are even worth fighting. When you stop forcing outcomes, you redirect your energy toward alignment, not obsession. You start to move with life, not against it. It's not surrender, it's strategic serenity. If this message hits you like a soft slap from the universe, good. It probably means you're holding on too tight. Hit that subscribe button like you're finally letting go of what isn't yours to hold. Share this video with someone who's overdue for a deep breath and leave a comment below. What have you been trying to force and are now ready to release? Stoic bloom. Let go, let wisdom in. Part 2. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Take a walk through a quiet forest. Look at the trees. The branches don't rush to stretch, the roots don't panic to grow, and yet, season after season, they thrive. Without urgency, without pressure, simply by aligning with the rhythm of life. The Stoics drew great wisdom from nature. Lao Tzu, a philosopher who deeply influenced Stoic thought, once wrote, "Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished." Marcus Aurelius echoed this in his meditations. Do everything as if it were the last thing you were doing in your life, with calm and serious attention. There's a message here. Rushing doesn't create progress, it creates friction. Think of the farmer who plants seeds. He doesn't dig them up each morning, demanding visible proof of growth. He waters, waits, and trusts the process. The Stoic mindset works the same way. You don't force results, you show up, tend to your duties, and allow life to bloom on its own terms. In modern life, we are taught to hustle, accelerate, outperform, but nature reminds us that deep, lasting growth is slow and silent. You don't need to panic to be productive. You don't need to force to be fulfilled. When we adopt this mindset, patience becomes strength, not passivity. We stop measuring our days by how fast we move and start measuring by how well we move. So next time you feel behind, outpaced, or restless, step back. Ask yourself, is this urgency truly mine? Or is it borrowed from a world that forgot how to wait? Stoic bloom. Patience isn't delay, it's direction, moving without panic. Part 3, the art of letting go. Letting go sounds easy until your heart gets involved. We often believe that holding on shows strength, that if we just try harder, love deeper, push longer, things will work out. But the Stoics taught us something radical. Sometimes the strongest act is not holding on, but releasing what was never truly yours to carry. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality, and often what we imagine is loss of control, of a person, of the future we once envisioned. So we cling to outcomes, to memories, to versions of ourselves that no longer fit. But here's the truth: clenched fists can't receive. Only open hands can. Letting go isn't quitting. It's choosing peace over pride. It's trusting that what's meant to stay will stay, and what leaves was never meant to last. Think of a bird resting on your palm. If you grip it tightly, you injure it. If you let it go freely, it may return on its own. The Stoics called this amor fati, the love of fate, not just accepting what happens, but embracing it, not passively, but actively, as if to say, this too is part of my path. So whether it's a strained relationship, a dying dream, or a version of you that you've outgrown, let go. Not because it doesn't matter, but because you do. And if you've made it this far without gripping your phone out of existential tension, maybe you're ready to let go of something else too. Subscribe to join a community of calm rebels. Share this with someone who's still clinging to what's already gone. Or comment below, what are you releasing today? And what piece is taking its place? Stoic bloom, when you let go, life flows in. Part 4, trust the process. Imagine a sculptor at work. Each day he chisels away at stone, patiently, purposefully, never expecting a masterpiece to emerge in a single stroke. He trusts the process. He knows that beauty isn't forced. It's revealed gradually through steady hands and faithful effort. The Stoics live by this principle. Marcus Aurelius said it simply, do what you must, let what happens, happen. In other words, focus on the work, not the reward. Focus on the path, not the pace. Focus on the action, not the applause. But modern life seduces us into urgency. We're told to hack, shortcut, and speed up the timeline. And when results don't arrive on demand, we panic, or worse, quit. That's when frustration creeps in. Why isn't it happening yet? But that question reveals a misunderstanding, not of effort, but of timing. True progress is rarely visible in real time. It's like watching bamboo grow, nothing for years, then suddenly meters in weeks. But that explosion only happens because of what was happening beneath the surface all along. When you trust the process, you stop tying your worth to outcomes. You begin to measure success by consistency, not speed. You detach from perfection and commit to presence. You become, as the Stoics would say, a student of effort, not a slave to expectation. So ask yourself, are you sculpting with care or smashing with urgency? Let life unfold as it's meant to. Shape what you can, and let time reveal the rest. Stoic bloom. The process is the path. Walk it slowly, walk it well. Part 5, finding freedom and acceptance. Acceptance. At first glance, the word sounds passive, like giving up, like settling. But to the Stoics, acceptance wasn't weakness. It was mastery. When you accept what is, without resistance or resentment, you unlock a level of peace that force and control will never bring. Epictetus put it best, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. We often think we're in control until life humbles us. The weather changes, people change, circumstances shift, and the more we try to grip reality like wet sand, the faster it slips through our fingers. But here's the twist. The moment you stop fighting what you can't change, you free up the energy to transform what you can. That's not passivity, that's precision. Acceptance isn't the end of action, it's the beginning of wise action. Think of a river. You can waste your life paddling upstream out of pride, or you can turn around, flow with the current, and get further with far less struggle. The Stoics didn't teach us to surrender to fate. They taught us to dance with it, to see life not as a battle to win, but as a rhythm to move with. So ask yourself, what are you resisting that's already happening? What peace might show up if you stop demanding things be different? And if that hit a little too close to home, congratulations. You're alive, aware, and probably due for a deep philosophical exhale. Subscribe to Stoic Bloom for more clarity like this. Share this with someone who's white-knuckling life. Or comment below, what are you learning to accept before life has to teach it the hard way? Stoic Bloom, accept what is, liberate who you are. Conclusion, stop forcing, start flowing. Throughout this journey, we've explored a powerful Stoic truth. What you force, you fracture. What you accept, you transform. From letting go of control to trusting the natural rhythm of life to embracing uncertainty with grace. These aren't just calming ideas. They're radical shifts in how we live, lead, and love. The Stoic doesn't demand that life obeys. He learns how to walk in step with it. He chooses not to cling, not to chase, not to control, but to flow. With effort, yes, with commitment, but without obsession. This is where peace is born, not from passive detachment, but from purposeful surrender. Not from giving up, but from knowing when to let go. If today's message stirred something in you, if it gave you a moment of clarity, a breath of stillness, or even just a nudge to loosen your grip, then I invite you to stay connected. Subscribe to Stoic Bloom and continue this path with us. Share this video with someone who needs to hear that peace isn't something to win, but something to welcome. Comment below what you're finally choosing to release. Like the video if your spirit feels even 1% lighter than when you arrived. This isn't just a philosophy, it's a practice. One that starts not in grand gestures, but in quiet decisions. Stoic Bloom, flow with life, live with strength,